So here we have her in a nice little like pose. Some goggles that I guess it could be on like pegged into the neck and also on top of the head, I believe. Hey all, Sinjui here, back again with another review. So today we're reviewing Sniper Girl from the Etherin Odyssey series, and this is made by Kotobukiya. And let's just say this is such a fantastic looking kit. Really fun build. Let's just have a look around. A lot of nice little details all around the kit, and this is just the basic of the kit. She has quite a bit of accessories and a lot of like minute little details which you can really customize with some paint. We will get into articulation first before we get into accessories, so let's just get into that. So Miss Sniper Girl here, she has a lot of points of articulation, and let's just get right down to it. Before I start, the neck, there is an accessory that kind of hinders the posability of this, so yeah, it's gonna be a little different when there's the accessory like around the neck. Let's see, neck looks down that far before the belly pops out. Looks up that far, and that's pretty good for especially because she's a sniper. She could be looking up, shooting upwards. Side to side, really far, kind of freaky too. As for the hair, they do move. They kind of move back that far before they start popping out, and they move that far forward. A little bit of a side to side, just to get out of the way of the arms. As for the bow, goes all the way around. The hair goes all the way around as well, or the ponytail, that is. So this little collar piece is just sitting between the ball joint and the chest part, so it's just free roaming, I guess. It makes a lot of noise. Alright, let's try to get the head out of the way. The arm extends that far out, goes all the way around. If you could get the joint right, well, yeah, if you could get the joint right, there is a turn at the bicep, a bend at the elbow. Oop, wrong way. This way. No, this way. Yeah, there you go. So bend at the elbow, not that far. As for the hand, just a straight peg, so it goes all the way around. Not too fancy. As for the chest, there is no articulation there. For the waist, just a little wobble. Side to side, just a little wobble. This, I guess, skirt piece just sits there, just like the collar, just sits there. For the legs, they go up that far, go back that far, and if you pull them out, they get a little bit more range, but it looks a little weirder, so you tend to pop them back in. Knees, bends about that far. It's pretty nice. It's, real. And as for the ankle, there is some side-to-side rocking motion right there. And I think forward and back, there are none. Which is kind of weird. So you get one of these, and you don't get any forward and back. So, yeah. It's a little weird. Yep, that's basically it. These little zipper things, I guess they're zipper things. They're on a ball joint, so they move around. And that's basically about it. Oh yeah, and these little pouches. They're individually snapped on there, so they also move around slightly. Yep, and that's it. And the arm pops off. Alright, so we will get into our accessories, and I will show you how the articulation on the neck goes when you put on the whatever this is. It's like a scarf neck guard dealio. I don't know. Alright, one moment. Quite a bit of accessories here. Let's start off with all the faces. So we have one. It's kind of like a sad face. A face looking towards her right. And one for her left. So that's 3 heads. Or 3 faces, that is. We have that collar piece that I showed you first. And we also have a collar piece that has some holes in it, which I will show you next. What's it for? Some goggles, which plug into there, or you also got some hair with some goggles as well, or sunglasses or something like that, like hunter visors. You get 3 pairs of hands. The closed fists or the holding fists are already on her. You get some nice posing hands. There you go. Trigger finger for the bow. And a gripping hand, I guess. Oh yeah, the gripping hand for the actual like arrows themselves. 1, 2, 3 arrows. Pretty nice. So you get some extras because you have nowhere to store these. You also get a nice quiver with a bunch of arrows that look like they're inside, but it's just like a half. And I don't even think this looks right. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty close. So they should be standing out that far. Not really accurate, but it looks right on her. So you have that. The piece of resistance will be the bow. It does not have a string, but there's a tiny little hole there on each side. So I guess you could put some fishing line or maybe like a string in there to make it look more realistic, which I will do too. These have a little bit of articulation. I'm not really sure what these things are, but they do turn, and they like tend to pop out, but they do turn. So I guess it's just for, you know, making it so it looks more 3D, I guess. I don't know. 2 extra, like, I'm not really sure which ones these are. Oh yeah, these are for the hair. And a whole bunch of eyes, or extra eyes, so you could paint the face. Alright, let's show off her decapitated head. I will show you how to remove the hair and whatever to replace the face, and also these. They're pretty similar to how you replace faces or replace anything with like Nendoroids. This one you actually pop out both of the hair pieces, so you don't damage them. And just pop out the hair. If I could get into it. Come on. There you go. So that's basically it. And all you do is just pop the hair back out of her. Take the new hair or the new face, and you just sandwich it back in. There you go. Look pretty good. And all you do is just pop the hair back in. Good. there she is. Really nice. Okay. So, the next part of this accessory will be that neck guard thing, scarf, something or another. I'm not too quite sure. But it's pretty tedious to put this on. Like, if you could get it right and you could get this little collar piece balanced, you could get this pretty easy. So you put that on, and then you put this over, and then you go grab the head and stick the neck joint in and just pop it in, and there it is. So I got that on the first try. Pretty good. Sometimes I push a little too hard and stuff just flings everywhere. Alright, and as for the articulation now, her head looks up only that far due to this thing. It looks better with it, so I rather have it on there. But if you like more articulation, I guess you don't need this. She looks down that far, and for her side to side, it's almost the same because the actual neck, opening is really far, like lengthwise. There you go. So that's that. This not cut, and I will show you how to put this on. 2 peg holes on the moving skirt thing. I actually like this because it kind of weighs down the skirt and it doesn't move around as much. So all you do is just align it with these pegs and just peg it in. And that's it. So that's how she kind of looks with the quiver full of arrows in it. Alright. And I will just show you a couple of poses with her bow and stuff. It's kind of tedious to put in stuff or pose her because stuff tends to pop out and fly all over the room. One moment. So here's a nice little pose that I got her into, and it kind of took some finagling, about 2-3 minutes, because you have to really position the arms and everything in just to show off this base. It can hold her, but any little wind or anything will just topple her over. It's basically gravity right now. It doesn't really do much. Like, it holds it to a straight point, but it doesn't really hold her up because this little thing is only on a ball joint. I will show you right now. Let's sit her down. See, there you go. All it is just a little ball joint with a little stick and that little arm thing that holds her leg in place. That's all it is. So it tends to move around a lot. If it was a nice tighter one, kind of like one of those action bases with maybe a ratcheting thing, I guess you could get into more of like dynamic poses where she's like jumping or something. But with this, you just get standing ones. And that's the best I could have done with this, is her on one leg, which looks okay. I could do better, but for the video, I got her in this kind of little pose. It's kind of nice. Looks like she's hopping, drawing her bow. This is as far as you could get her hands or her arms. You would want her arm to pull back more, but her elbow, I guess you could customize it where you could maybe cut out a piece of where her forearm is, or for her forearm guard, and maybe her arm will bend a little further. That might be a little more realistic, I guess. I might actually do that, or I'll try to elongate her arm a little bit. But this is pretty good. Yep. That's basically it. What else am I missing? No, not missing anything else. No. So once again, this was the Sniper Girl from Kotobukiya, and I am the Sinjui.